got my new tires and wheels in. I've got a 10-inch cutout by about 5 inches wide, so the only thing that I could find that would fit is a 410/350/4. The dash 4 indicates the wheel size, which is only a 4-inch wheel, which is pretty small, but it's going to work. The tricky part I had to find was the wheel kit to fit in there. This is a 1-inch bore with a 1/4-inch keyway, which is pretty much the most common wheel axle size that people use. All your hardware, like the gears and everything, are all pretty much designed for 1 inch. They do come in 3/4 inch. It's just less common, and I didn't want to mess with it. And I figured maybe the extra diameter of the axle would probably be a little bit more secure and sturdy. Also, these wheels that I found as well, I had to hunt around a little bit, and they do have different qualities. This particular one has a max load of 260 pounds, which is pretty high. Most of these that you look at, like lawnmower tires and everything, garden equipment, a lot of them are only like 200 pounds max. Some are even less than that, I think. So it took me a little while. This is a studded tread that I went with. I just figured it'd be good for traction, but there's a lot of different tire types you can get, like a sawtooth, which is more like a radial wheel kind of looking tire. The other thing too that I went and found was these inner tubes. They've got a nice little right angle nozzle that fits through the wheel, so it'll be easier to get to. I ordered all this from BMI Carts, except for the tires I wound up getting on Amazon, and I used Stern's website to like find out about the tire quality and the weight capacity and everything. And they're called Kenda tires, which seem to be pretty popular. Most people sell those. A lot of people use them for go-karts and everything, so I guess it's a higher quality tire. One of the other pieces of hardware too that I should have talked about, or should talk about, are the collars. This is a locking collar. Basically, this goes over your axle, and you have a set screw. The lady I talked to on the phone about, she said most people what they'll do is drill out the set screw into the axle and then just run the set screw down on the axle, and they will hold solid. These do come in another variety as well. There's a two-piece, and it goes through on the sides, and I guess it's good for quick swaps. Okay, so what I did here is I folded over the inner tube in half, and then I kind of stuck it in there and unfolded it. So important thing is to keep your valve stem exposed. This is the first time I've done this, so I had to play with it a little bit. Then take your wheel that has the valve stem hole in it, put that one on like so, over the wheel, and just kind of pop that in. Might actually be a good idea to put some sort of lubricant like soap or something maybe to get the wheels in the hole. This is still a little bit easier, I think, than even dealing with a tubeless tire. Having a split wheel, at least you can kind of get one side in at a time. Okay, I cheated a little bit. So I just loosely put on my nuts, and I was having a hard time getting the tire to go over the rim more. So I just inflated it a little bit. And now that I've got it inflated, I'm going to take these nuts, or I'm going to let the air back out of the tire, or the tube I should say, and then seal my my wheel down really well. It's got 4 lock nuts, or 4 lock washers, excuse me, with the nuts. Let's go ahead and do that. I guess probably a good idea to cross tighten these little by little, kind of like you would on a regular car. Makes sense, even though there's only 4, but it doesn't hurt to have that good and locked down. Okay, I'm gonna put some air in these tires. Tires rated at 30 pounds for 260 pounds of weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. There we have it. Nice looking tire. Put the cap on and we're good to go. I'll take and do the same thing for the other side. I kind of like that folding taco method, I'll call it. Seems to work pretty good. Still didn't lubricate these, but the other one worked pretty good using that folding method and then pulling them together using the split wheel. Also, I should note too that these wheels have like a little cutout right there, each of them, and I believe you're supposed to line those up. The real trick is not to pinch the tube between the split wheel if you're going to use this method. I don't know if it's the best method or not. Okay, so I got the nut on one end with maybe an inch of thread simulated by this piece of PVC here. Got some blocks of wood in there to give me some gapping, and then I'll measure out my axle. We figured about 4.5 inches, counting the hub for the wheel, the axle nut, a little bit of the collar, and because there's a collar that holds it on the one side, and a little bit of thread because you don't want to have your axle nut completely on the very end of the thread. So what I did here was take the assembly, put it on the axle that I made with PVC, and I got 2 measurements. Using my blocks, I came up with 11 5/8 on one end, 11 3/8 on the other end, and then I measured between the distance, so where they stopped, and it had 8.5 inches, giving me a grand total of 31.5 inches. Now, if you remember earlier, in one of my drawings, you may not have seen it, we had an absolute maximum distance of just a little bit over 32 3/4. So, say about 33, it's closer to. So luckily, the absolute shortest standard axle that they make for go-karts is a 32-inch axle, and it, with a thread length of about 2 inches, it should work. I should be able to float down further the axle if I need to, and the collar should hold it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get my axle ordered, some more locking collars. I'm going to use pillow block bearings, just because it's easier, and we're going to mount it to the bottom of the bumper car. Instead of using bearing hangers, there's no need to weld all that in, and plus I want it really low profile. I'll probably go ahead and get the clutch, the chain, and the sprocket as well.